What's up, beautiful people? No, that is not a mountain on my face. That is a giant pimple. And you know what? There's worse things in life. So we're going to move on. On to the makeup. Actually, on to the moisturizer. Amazing. Always start with the moisturized face. And then move on to the amazing Revlon Color Stay 24-hour makeup. I am in the shade 150 Buff. And what I love to use on my foundation is the Real Techniques stippling brush. It took me a very, very, very long time to find a brush or an applicator of some kind that put on my foundation just flawlessly and rubbed it into my skin, made it look silky, not cakey. And I have to tell you, this brush is the most amazing foundation brush that you will find. It's about $10 at Ulta, and I want to go back and I want to buy about 5 more. And yes, that is how I put my foundation on my brush. I do not like putting foundation on my hand and then sticking it in there and then putting it on my face. I just think that's way too much. When it's in the morning and I'm on my way to work, I really don't have time for a lot. And so this is how I like to do it. It may not be the most sanitary way of applying my makeup, but you know what? It's worked for me. So you'll notice that I just put the foundation in sections. I do not dot this all over my face and then try to rub it in. There's something about the reason why Revlon Color Stay stays on your face all day long, but it dries very quickly. And so I put it in tiny little sections and I just go in circular motions and I just rub that stuff in. I spend so much time just blending it in. I'm not actually putting foundation down my neck. I'm just taking what's sort of already on the brush and I'm just making sure that the cake line is non-existent. So I just put a little bit on the brush as I go and I cover up my whole face with foundation. I've never been one of those people who are lucky enough to only put foundation on certain sections of my face because my whole face has either been red or it's been scarred or it's had pimples on it. And you'll also notice that yes, I put foundation over that giant mountainous pimple on my cheek. However, I'm not going to slather the product right there. There's no hiding that sucker. When they're that big and they're that swollen, there's no amount of product I can put on there that'll make it go away. So, on to the eyes. So this is a CoverGirl product, and you know, it's so old that I don't know what it's called. I think it's like Color Blast, Color Eye Primer, something rather. But you know, I bought this a really long time ago, and I did not like it when I first started using it. But then I picked it up again just a little while ago, and I love it. It's like a liquid primer and eyeshadow in one. But I use it as a primer, and it's super shimmery, and it's pink, and I just love it. And it literally makes your eyeshadow stay on all day long. So I make sure to get it on that inner corner of my eye and then apply my eyeshadow. I really love the Wet n Wild Color Icon Trios. This is I'm Getting Sunburned. As you all know, I love to use the sponge applicator that the eyeshadow comes with because it's the perfect shape of my eye. So I just pat it into that eyeshadow, I tap off the excess, and I sweep that across my whole lid. And I use that little pointy end of the sponge there to get into the corners of my eyes and get into the crease. And then I go back in with my Chanel No. 5 brush and I just blend, blend, blend. Now, this is the Up and Up brand eyeshadow crease brush. This thing was like $3. Amazing at Target. It's all you need, I promise you. So I'm going back in with that darker color, and as you can tell, I did not use a lot at all. This Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadow trios are so pigmented, you only need a little bit. So I look straight ahead. I hold that Up and Up brush into the outer crease of my eye, and I go in circular motions. I just circle that sucker until I get some color on there, and then I do windshield wiper motions on the rest of my crease and sweep it towards the center of my eye. So circle, 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 and then I do windshield wiper. And I do that until that sucker is just blended in. It's a seamless line, and it's just beautiful. It just sort of gradually moves up my eye, and it just defines my eye. And I just love these colors together. I'm telling you, man, these Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadows are incredible. Not once did I dab that brush back into the eyeshadow palette. I used that first little dab that I did, and then I just circle it on the outer corner of my eye, and I just sweep, 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 blend, 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 take my stippling brush, clean up the area just to make it look nicer, to take any of that fallout out, to sort of get the shape that I'm going for. And I seriously take so much time with my eyeshadow blending it because that's how I like it to look. Now I'm going back in with MAC eyeliner and I'm going to do a little bit of tight lining. Holy bejesus, did this scare me when I first started doing my makeup. Look how scary that looks. I mean, I'm pulling up my eye and I'm putting eyeliner on the inner corner of my eye. However, I have to tell you, it's not as scary as it looks. Just try it one day. Do not poke your eye. Do not go on the underside of your eyelid. That's not what I'm doing. Look, I don't even have to pull that sucker up. So now, my favorite thing to do when I'm doing my makeup is fill in my brows. So since I'm blonde and fair skinned, I'm taking that lighter color. This is the Brow Powder Duo by Jordana, and this thing was $4. Actually, it was $3.99. And if you'll notice, again, I am just using the applicator that comes with the Brow Powder Duo because I don't see any reason to go out and buy something that's way more than I can afford when this thing works perfectly. I have little hands, so I don't mind the little applicator. So if you'll notice, I just start on the bottom of my eyebrow. I start there, and then I just follow that bottom line all the way over, but I use little tiny swish, swish, swish motions. I just swish, swish, swish it on, and I feel like that makes it less of a harsh line. It makes it look a little bit more natural. I sort of always wish that I had really dark hair, like some of these people like Jaclyn Hill or some of the other people on YouTube that I absolutely love. But I find that for me, these harsh, dark eyebrows are not very attractive, especially not for every day. So that's why I love brow powder duos because I use a lighter color during the day and a darker color at night. And then I go back in with my clear gel Maybelline Great Lash and I just brush my eyebrows up and then over. So I start at the base and I brush them up towards the sky. I can
smooth that out, and I notice that it gives it a really nice shape that I really like. So, of course, everybody's favorite part, the Falsies by Maybelline. And you know, I used to love this mascara, but I have to tell you, it dried so fast, everybody. I was so sad. It's about $8, and I really kind of remember it being like $5 or $6. But the last time I went to Walmart, I paid $8 for this sucker, and it dried really fast. So I sweep the mascara over every single lash. Sometimes I sort of do a twirly motion in my fingers so that it curls it a little bit, and then I just get it on every single lash, and then I do a zigzag motion, which separates the lashes. I do not like clumpy spider-legged lashes. Sometimes I'll even go back in with a toothpick or the end of some little tiny scissors to cut my eyebrows so that I can separate them. Or I do this maneuver. I hold the mascara brush vertical and I try to separate those lashes. Now, I don't know why I did it in this order, but I just did. But I'm going back in with my wonderful Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer, and this is the shade 50. It's the neutralizer one, so it's sort of yellow toned. And I'm trying to cover the mountain up, people, but as I said before, I don't glob it on. You know what I try to do instead? I try to just have self-confidence, and I try to accept the fact that there's acne on my face, and I just need to get over it. And you know what? Everybody gets acne. It's okay. And then I take my Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer, I slap that under my eyes, I warm my fingers up, and then I just dab. I dab, dab, dab. First I swish it around a little bit, and then I go back in with that warm finger, and I just dot it. I just dab it, dab it, dab it, dab it, until you can't tell that I'm wearing concealer anymore, and that's all that's left is this beautiful, bright under eye area with no dark circles. And if you'll notice, I sort of sweep it up to the top of my cheekbones because I believe that that sort of adds a little bit of a highlighting effect because it's lighter than my foundation is. I get the lightest concealer possible. So I can't tell what color this is, but it's the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer. And then I just dab, dab, dab. I don't rub anything off. I just dab, 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 dab until that area looks nice and bright. And then I just take my warm finger, and when I know that I've gotten it all rubbed in, I just sort of make sure that it's blended in. So if you'll notice, I'll start to go back over. See, I dab it down there because that's the area I like to keep nice and bright. I dab a little bit over my nose because I have a lot of redness, so a little extra cover up couldn't hurt anybody. So I just make sure that everything is nice and blended in. We're going for seamless lines. Rimmel, here we go again with the Rimmel.
Rimmel Stay Matte Long Lasting Pressed Powder. This is in translucent. I take my Mineral Rush brush that I don't remember where I got it, but I know that it was at the drugstore. It was very cheap. It came with some foundation that I didn't like, but I just sweep this over my T-zone, and then you'll notice that I'll sweep it all over my face, but I'm not actually taking additional product, and I'm not putting additional product under my eyes. I'm just taking whatever's left on my brush, and I'm going around, and I'm using this two folds. I'm using it to blend in everything that's already there, and then I'm also using it to set my foundation. Very oily skin. So after I do all that, of course, mascara on those bottom lashes. Let's try to define the eyes as much as possible. I would do a lot more if I were going out at night. Oh, Gina, what are you doing? What are you doing down there? I don't know. But I love mascara on my bottom lashes. It's an absolute must. When I was a beginner, I couldn't fathom the idea of doing that. I thought it was weird. So if I get a little bit on that part of my eyeline that I don't like, I go back in with my finger and I clean it up. Eco Tools bronzing brush, amazing. Oh my god, it's so amazing. I don't like a super bronzed look because I feel like that ends up just making me look orange or pink or something that I don't like. So this brush I'm actually going to do a video on because it's the most amazing thing, and I never see anybody talk about it, and it's cheap, and it just gives you the most beautiful bronzed look, but it's natural. It's a natural bronzed look. So that's what I love so much about it. So I sweep that onto my forehead, and I sweep it in the hollows of my cheek. I'm sucking that in. I'm just sucking my cheeks in, and I'm filling in those hollows that my face makes when I suck my cheeks in. And then I sweep it up through my temples, and I put it onto my hairline on my forehead because I just think that gives such a beautiful, natural, sort of bronzy look. Now I go back in with my NYC blush. I can't tell you what it is because a couple days after I filmed this, it broke on me. I couldn't believe it. So, will I be purchasing this again? No, I don't think so. But you know what? This day, it's what I used. So then I'm just taking my cheapy blush brush that I got from Ross. It's called Studio Beauty. Studio is spelled with two O's, which is kind of a silly thing. And then I just dab that blush on the apples of my cheek, and then I sweep it up to my cheekbones and then some on my temples. I don't put additional product on there. I just sort of use that brush, and then yeah, that is a big glob of blush on my face. I don't want to look like a clown. I want to look naturally flushed and alive. So I go back in with a clean kabuki brush, and I just sort of blend. And then I wipe it off a little bit on a paper towel, and I just make sure that I don't have a cake line. And then final step, oh my god, a Mega Shine Lip Gloss by NYX. This is in gold pink. These are so amazing. They're so moisturizing. I just love the way they feel. I love the way they smell. I love how pigmented they are, or not pigmented, depending on how much you sweep over your lips. And then I just put that on my lips, and I get the look that I want to achieve, and then Gina's good to go. She's ready to take on the world. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. So much.